Now on CBC Vancouver News.
You can do something simple that can keep yourself safe.
Vancouver police plead with people using e-scooters to wear helmets after a woman dies following a crash. Plus, 2 people are killed and another person injured after a helicopter crashes on BC's Central Coast. And
we cannot be complacent. We are heading into a period of dry weather, wind, and storms.
the province warns wildfires could flare up across BC again over the next few days. That's prompting a campfire ban in some areas.
This is CBC Vancouver News.
Hello, I'm Dan Burritt. Thanks for joining us. Vancouver police say a woman has died after her e-scooter collided with a car on Commercial Drive. They say she wasn't wearing a helmet at the time. John Hernandez has more on the warnings.
What is happening?
Community center.
On July 3rd, a woman riding an e-scooter near this intersection crashed into the side of a car. Police say she wasn't wearing a helmet and struck her head on the pavement. She died of her injuries on July 11th.
We are now seeing more people using these scooters, and we're seeing a lot of injuries, and it's due to people not wearing helmets on them.
The death prompting Vancouver police to issue a public warning calling on all riders to follow the law and wear helmets.
We're not out here looking to hit people with tickets and have that negative interaction. We want to tell people you can do something simple that can keep yourself safe.
The death just the latest in a series of scooter-related injuries that are mounting in BC.
Yeah, I just saw that one over there. That's what you guys are talking about, right? Yeah, it looked pretty mean.
Jesse Jardine saw the aftermath of that crash, and it wasn't the first e-scooter-related collision he's seen.
These people need to get licenses. Like, there's like little 12-year-old kids just ripping around. I took my bike down to English Bay, and they were literally just weaving in and out of people.
They need to be better regulated in terms of like helmet safety to start with, speed.
Last month, the BC Children's Hospital reported a surge in e-scooter related injuries among kids. The legal age to ride the devices on public roadways in the province is 16.
The parents who are perhaps considering providing one of these devices to a young child says, do they have a private driveway that they can use it on? And do they understand not to leave that driveway?
Cycling advocate Jeff Lee says the scooters can be a great transportation tool and says the best way to stay safe is to be predictable on the road. The speed limit is 25 kilometers an hour.
You want other road users to understand where you are and where you're going.
As for helmets, they might not prevent a crash, but even people who don't wear them know they can save lives.
I know I should be wearing it regardless.
John Hernandez, CBC News, Vancouver.
Wildfire officials in BC say challenging weather over the next few days could cause more fires to flare up. Troy Charles has more on the potential hazards.
We cannot be complacent. We are heading into a period of dry weather, wind, and storms.
Provincial officials warn the next 2 days could bring a significant increase in wildfire activity to much of southern BC. Those unfavorable conditions have prompted new restrictions.
Starting Thursday, there will be a campfire ban in coastal British Columbia, excluding the Campbell River, North Island Central, Haida Gwaii, and Sunshine Coast forest districts.
The BC Wildfire Service is forecasting dry lightning for the coastal, Kamloops, and southeast fire centers.
What dry lightning means is that we will see high winds, lightning hitting the ground, and it will come with very little or no precipitation, leading to very high potential of wildfire starts and wildfire spreads.
Chapman says so far this season has been more manageable than years past. Since April 1st, 25,000 hectares have burned from more than 440 fires. Over the same time period in 2025, 700,000 hectares had burned from 544 fires.
We have seen, obviously, I think a significant change in behavior from the public in BC in terms of reporting fires, using fire the right way, including campfires, and really allowing us to get on fires as quickly as we can.
8 evacuation orders are in place across the province, with more than 280 people using emergency support services. 7 of those evacuation orders stem from fires burning in the Fraser Canyon near Boston Bar.
At this time, more than 230 properties are under evacuation order and nearly 300 properties are under evacuation alert in the area of Boston Bar and surrounding communities.
We hope to not have a lot of growth in the next few days or at all. However, saying that, there is still a lot of unchecked fire perimeter. So the next 2 days will be the tell where we can go with containment.
Flanagan says 500 workers are on the fire line battling the 2 fires that have burned roughly 200 square kilometers. Troy Charles, CBC News, Vancouver.
Let's go to the fire update now with our science and climate specialist, Darius Madavi.
Well, there's about 20 active fires burning in BC right now. Dan, most of those, fortunately, under control or being held, but a few out-of-control fires, including, of course, the Brunswick complex, as we heard from Troy there. If we zoom into the fire perimeters, of course, we're talking about the Brunswick Creek fire on the left and the Ainslie Creek fire on this side of the highway, on the eastern side of Highway 1. These continue to burn through the Fraser Canyon, although many firefighters, hundreds of them, deployed to fight these fires. Aerial resources deployed as well. As a result of the rate at which these fires are burning, we are seeing another smoke advisory issued. It means that fire activity is probably picking up a little bit again, and the weather conditions are right to keep that smoke inside the Fraser Canyon. So an air quality advisory issued there. And if we zoom back in here, I also wanted to mention the evacuation orders and alerts that we have in place, going all the way across Highway 1 around Boston Bar, and then a larger evacuation alert area over here. All told, a few hundred properties under evacuation order and alert, roughly 300 or so. And then I wanted to mention the drought rating, which is high in the southern interior. We have extreme drought conditions here, and that is going to be a problem in the days ahead. The drought situation, the ongoing dry weather, the heat that we're going to see in the next few days means that fire danger remains high. And over the next 48 to 72 hours, every afternoon, every evening, we're going to see thunderstorm energy really start to build in the southern interior, which means more chances for lightning-caused fire starts.
Okay, Darius, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Two people have been killed and another person injured after a forestry helicopter carrying 3 people crashed northeast of Vancouver Island. Take a look. West Coast Helicopters says one of its Hughes 500 choppers was operating in Loughborough Inlet on the Central Coast just after 6 a.m. The Joint Rescue Coordination Centre in Victoria says it was notified of a helicopter crash by an emergency locator transmitter signal about 15 minutes later. It says a Cormorant helicopter and Kingfisher aircraft from 19 Wing Comox responded. The coroner confirms 2 people are dead and 1 person in hospital in serious but stable condition. The Transportation Safety Board says it is sending a team to the site. The City of Surrey says it is on track to meet its provincial housing targets. But as Saurabh Sandhu explains, the mayor is worried about future roadblocks.
In the next 3 years, the province wants the City of Surrey to add more than 15,000 new homes to its housing stock. That's in addition to more than 11,000 it has already built in the last 2 years. But Surrey's Mayor Brenda Locke says the housing market is not where it was 2 years ago, and the 5-year targets set in 2024 are no longer achievable.
That kind of housing stock is not going to keep building in our city. That's not realistic. So they need to review it.
In its annual review report, the Surrey City staff says that building has been on target for the last 2 years, but with decreasing demand and weaker economic outlook, staff says numbers are set to decline in future.
This year has certainly been significantly lower, and that's largely to do with things that are outside the city's control.
The city says about 54,000 units are up in the air as developers waffle on their plans to break ground.
The federal government has adjusted or made significant changes to immigration policy, and I'm assuming that has an impact on housing.
I think particular types of immigration mixed in with interest rates, mixed in with really the general state of the economy, I think through which has kind of really changed the kind of economic foundations through which our previous housing market was based upon. And I think through which has kind of brought in a certain level of uncertainty.
The province says it recognizes the concerns around housing targets, but all forms of government need to tackle the housing crisis together, and that it takes external factors into consideration when evaluating whether a municipality has demonstrated satisfactory progress.
I think this is an opportunity to kind of readjust those targets and to perhaps even look within what kinds of housing they're building and for whom.
Locke is now directing staff to write a letter to the province requesting an adjustment to Surrey's housing target. Saurabh Sandhu, CBC News, Surrey.
Premier David Eby spent the day touring the newly named John Horgan Dam near Fort St. John, formerly known as Site C. And as Matt Preprost explains, the province is looking at future dams.
BC Premier David Eby, awestruck after a 2-hour visit to the John Horgan Dam on the Peace River near Fort St. John, now fully operational after 10 years of construction.
The engineering, the construction work that went into this site to deliver it is nothing short of remarkable. The scale of it being up close is massive.
There was this walkway there where
the tour took Eby, as well as local media, through the dam's powerhouse, into the turbine pits, over the top of the dam, and across the spillways.
The amount of concrete and steel that goes into just one of those channels where the water flows in is absolutely massive, and it feels incredibly futuristic and yet a very old and reliable technology that's powering the province.
In opposition, Eby's NDP opposed building the dam, but in government they decided to finish the job. After 2 lengthy engineering and financial reviews, and doubling its original budget to $16 billion. Eby now says his government is serious about the possibility of building 2 more major dams in the province, including another downstream of Fort St. John on the Peace River near the Alberta border.
I think that one of the things that is the reality around the modern economy that we're seeing is that the more electricity that we have in British Columbia, the greater our economic advantage. But it also assures industry that they'll be able to have the electricity that they need for really power-intensive uses, like if you want to electrify a mine or you want to electrify a next-generation manufacturing facility, you need huge amounts of power.
Work has yet to start to dismantle and move the dam's massive work camp to northwest BC to house workers building BC Hydro's North Coast transmission line. But ground has broken on a new cultural centre next door that will showcase Indigenous history of the Peace region and display artifacts found during the dam's construction. Matt Preprost, CBC News, Fort St. John.
Athletes and community groups are pushing for a new track and field facility in Penticton. As Tiffany Goodwin explains, the BC Summer Games are coming in 2 years.
The race is on in Penticton to fund a new track and field facility to support local athletes.
Push, that's better.
The track was put in 3 decades ago and its age is starting to show. Andrew Hall is head coach of Penticton Track and Field.
Anything that hasn't been fixed in 30 years has a lot of problems with it. You know, right now as a club, we spend so much time managing our athletes for injury, specifically because the track itself is now about as hard as cement.
I've injured myself on this track this year already, and all the lines are like faded and it's really outdated.
Penticton is set to host the 2028 BC Summer Games, and questions remain as to if the facility is even able to host the athletes in its current condition. Right now, Penticton Track and Field can't host local tournaments because Hall says it doesn't meet standards set out by BC Athletics. The BC Summer Games did not respond to our request for an interview. The track and field facility is on School District 67 property. The school board agreed to pay $500,000 towards the cost of repairs, but officials say it will require anywhere from $3 to $6 million to replace it.
We're still looking for ways to figure out how we can fund this project, and the City of Penticton has been very intricate in helping us get to where we are right now, which is quite early stages, but we're looking for monies.
The school board appeared before City Council this spring, but so far no funding commitments have been made.
It's a really important recreational facility for Penticton, and it's really important that we get it right because it's going to be something that the community will use for decades to come. Having said that, if it could be done in times for the games, I think there'd be a lot of people who'd be really happy about it.
Happy like this young athlete.
Really excited. Like, it would be the best day of my life.
Better.
Tiffany Goodwin, CBC News, Penticton.
A Kelowna boardwalk shut. Why? After As we told you on Monday, the BC Nurses Union is set to take down its picket lines for what it says is a demonstration of good faith and a commitment to mediation.
We expect the health employers to demonstrate the same good faith that we are demonstrating today by committing to taking down our lines tonight. As we move into mediation, it's time to turn the page. Respect cannot begin and end at the bargaining table. It has to exist in our workplaces.
On Friday, the province appointed veteran mediators Vince Reddy and Amanda Rogers. Among other things, the union says it's fighting for more manageable workloads. They say staffing shortages have required nurses to work immense overtime. As the FIFA Men's World Cup inches closer to the final, TransLink is touting early ridership numbers during matches here in Vancouver.
It was pretty incredible. We had almost 1 million people using our system each week, and that's more than 100,000 people per week, more than we usually see.
The transit agency says during the 7 matches at BC Place, SkyTrain ridership went up 18%, and stations near the stadium were busier by 54%. TransLink says its budget for the tournament was just over $20 million, paid for by the host committee, minus extra money from the fare box. A final count-up of all the numbers will be available once the tournament is over. In Kelowna, frustration is mounting for locals over the closure of a popular boardwalk in front of 2 resort hotels. A fight between the city and hotel management over access to that walkway has been going on for years. And as Brady Strachan shows us, despite a judge's order confirming public access, those gates are still locked.
This popular waterfront walkway is open to the public until you reach this fence. 1 year ago, the city chained off this section of the resort boardwalk for repairs, promising it would reopen in September. But that deadline came and went, and now 10 months later, the gate is still locked, the public is shut out, and the wait for answers continues. The boardwalk offers scenic views of Okanagan Lake in front of 2 hotels, the Manteo and the iconic El Dorado Hotel. Both are owned by Argus Properties. The ongoing closure of the popular path is a frustration for locals like Ed Malcolm.
Everybody talks about it. My wife and I, and we're just talking about it on the way over from the coffee shop here that, how long can this go on and be an inconvenience?
A decades-old agreement established daytime public access here. When Argus Properties locked the gates a few years ago, the case ended up in BC Supreme Court. The judge ultimately sided with the city and ordered Argus to remove the locks and restore access. But the barriers returned last year when the hotel reported structural damage and the city deemed the boardwalk unsafe. The City of Kelowna declined an interview with CBC News. In a statement, the city says a contractor sent to complete those safety repairs was turned away by the hotel's owner, leaving them unable to reach an agreement. Argus Properties fired back, telling CBC the hotel wasn't properly consulted before that contractor arrived, though the company claims it is committed to working with the city in good faith.
And at this point, the city could be a lot more transparent than they are.
Longtime shoreline access advocate Al Janusis feels the public is losing patience. He says frustration is shifting towards the city for failing to crack down.
I think that it reflects badly on City Hall. It reflects badly on the City of Kelowna, for that matter, that we seem to have been unable to sort out problem that should have been sorted out several years ago.
And as the dispute drags on further into the summer, it's ultimately the public that loses out. Brady Strachan, CBC News, Kelowna.
There's a bird's eye view, or rather, yep, there it is, a view of a bird up the sea to sky earlier in the day. Nice day for a flight, and another gorgeous day on the south coast. Darius will have your BC-wide weather forecast coming up, including hazards of wildfires because of changing weather. Stick around.
This is Vancouver is a new CBC podcast where we explore the issues, the stories, and the people that make this place home. Listen to This is Vancouver wherever you get your podcasts.
to help.
The Alberta referendum, resources, and a duty to consult were on the menu as the National Chiefs opened this year's Assembly of First Nations General Meeting. Creason Ashkate has details from Ottawa.
During the National Chiefs opening address to Chiefs, Cindy Woodhouse-Nepenak said the country is a new Canada that includes Indigenous people, stressing the importance of including Indigenous leadership at all decision-making tables when it comes to resource development projects in Canada.
Our rights are our rights, and this land is our land.
Woodhouse-Nepenak highlighted the need for Indigenous sovereignty and the duty for all provinces, territories, and Prime Minister Mark Carney to consult. She stressed that not one project will get built without First Nations approval. The chief said that the Prime Minister's office has confirmed there will be a meeting this fall between First Ministers and chiefs from across the country.
Chiefs are united in saying that this national meeting can't be a one and done. That means establishing an ongoing federal provincial accountability mechanism to ensure that socioeconomic gaps are addressed through deeds and not words.
The AFN is also concerned about Mark Carney's revised water bill, C-37, essentially saying it wanted to see the explicit recognition of First Nations' human right to safe drinking water. And she repeated her stance on Alberta separatism. Have a listen.
We have made it clear that any proposal to separate from any province or territory from Canada is fundamentally illegitimate and unconstitutional without the explicit, prior, informed and collective consent of First Nations. We need to make and call it what it is, because Albertans need to know that if they vote to separate from Canada, that they're not taking the land with them.
There are more than 50 resolutions to be decided on by chiefs in the next 3 days. They include child welfare, Indian Act status, and calls for the Vatican to rescind a number of papal decrees. Creason Ashkate, CBC News, Ottawa.
It appears Canadians, at least more of them, may be more willing to travel to the U.S. than they were a year ago. Cross-border traffic is picking up again. But as Nisha Patel tells us, some are not ready to head south.
Border crossings are busier as Canadian travel to the U.S. picked up for the third month in a row. Car trips south of the border rising more than 5% in June compared to the same time a year ago.
I'm even starting to hear French being spoken again at stores and at attractions.
It's a relief for businesses in border cities, which have seen a dramatic drop in Canadian visitors since early 2025.
It was quiet, for sure, and I think everybody who lives here, whether you are in hospitality or not, you definitely noticed it and realized it was missed.
Some Canadians started boycotting travel to the U.S. after Donald Trump imposed steep tariffs and suggested Canada should become the 51st state. But over the past year, there's been a push to win them back.
Border destinations in the U.S. Have been offering some type of at par or value promotions to help benefit the exchange rate a little bit more.
Canada! Canada! World Cup games in 11 American cities may also have lured Canadians south. Still, travel hasn't returned to pre-Trump levels. Flights to the U.S. haven't rebounded, down nearly 4% compared to a year ago.
They've lost actually the most lucrative types of tourists, those snowbirds that are going down and spending 2-3 months there. And that's going to be a hard market to regain.
In Windsor, Ontario, just across the river from Detroit, some Canadians say they're keeping their travel plans.
I have for 50 years. Why stop now?
Others say they aren't likely to visit the U.S. anytime soon.
I have zero desire to go over there by any means whatsoever.
I don't like it anymore, and I don't like the guy running the whole show.
Despite the recent uptick, overall Canadian travel to the U.S. is still way down, about 30% lower than before Donald Trump took office. Nisha Patel, CBC News, Toronto.
The U.S. says it has launched a new round of airstrikes against Iran, making it the fourth night of attacks in a row. It's part of the Trump administration's attempt to force the regime to reopen the Strait of Hormuz without tolls. Nick Harper has more.
Donald Trump, sitting alongside the Iraqi Prime Minister, laid out a new plan. One he says will benefit not just the U.S., but countries throughout the Middle East.
You have Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, and Kuwait, primarily, and then others I spoke to all of them, and they would love to invest more money in the United States at record amounts, and that would be very acceptable.
The US president said those calls came from the Gulf leaders after he floated a plan on Monday to impose a 20% fee on any cargo that passes through the Strait of Hormuz. Instead of charging a toll, Trump says Gulf nations have pledged to invest billions and billions of dollars in the US. And he teased oil partnership announcements to come this week or next. On Tuesday, Trump acknowledged he didn't like the concept of a fee on any waterway. He and his administration had pushed back on previous Iranian tolls. But the US blockade is back. It again sees the American Navy preventing Iran-flagged as well as Iran-linked vessels from entering or exiting Iranian ports. Negotiations between Washington and Tehran have broken down, and the preliminary ceasefire appears in tatters, following consecutive nights of US strikes on Iran and escalating threats. Raising fears diplomacy is dead, military action is once again the way forward, with seemingly no way out of the conflict that began almost 5 months ago. Nick Harper for CBC News, Washington.
Tonight, CBC News is taking you inside a murder investigation that police say could stretch from India to here in Canada. The killing of a young Punjabi singer has sparked a media frenzy in India. No charges have been laid yet, but investigators believe the prime suspect has fled to this country. Susan Ormiston breaks down the case, the complications, and a family's fight for answers.
We're on the trail of a murder in Ludhiana, a Punjabi city. A brutal killing of a young woman and a man wanted by police with a Canadian connection. The murder in May touched off a wild media frenzy in India after police alleged their chief suspect had fled back to Canada and after her family begged for help to find her killer. Yashwinder Kaur was a music sensation with videos and a role in a Punjabi film. Inder, as she was known, was 29 and single. One evening in May, she went missing. On May 13th, police claim Inder Kaur left her home about 8:30 in her vehicle, her movements tracked on CCTV video. Her brother, Jotinder, who lived with her, said she went out to get groceries.
She assured me over the phone, I will be back in just 10 to 15 minutes. When I finally started calling her again, she didn't pick up my calls at all.
Jotinder got worried. He called a cousin and started a search. The two ended up at a local police station registering a missing persons complaint. When police dug into the investigation, they suspected she was abducted and began to reconstruct what happened. On the last night of her life, Yashwinder Kaur ended up here near a well-known canal outside the city. By midnight, she was dead, shot in the forehead and the chest, and her body and her car were dumped in the canal. It was now a suspected murder case. Her car, pulled out of the canal, had bloodstains, according to police. An autopsy confirmed the bullet wounds on her body. Under intense pressure to find a killer, on May 20th, police paraded 3 suspects, arrested for abduction and illegal possession of guns, calling them accomplices. They jailed the 3. But police said the actual killer, their primary suspect, had vanished, alleging he'd fled India the night she died. That man, they claimed, is Sukhwinder Singh Brar. Police say he's a permanent resident of Canada, and they're searching for him. As they piece together how he and she knew each other. Her family confirmed Kaur and Singh had a long-distance friendship He lives in Canada, according to them, but frequently traveled back to India.
Happy birthday to you.
In January, on a visit back to India, they celebrated his birthday with her family.
I'm Susan. Thank you for inviting us.
When we visited the family home, Inder's mother told us the two had been planning to marry this year.
She trusted him blindly. She loved him dearly. He loved her too. He claimed, "I've come to finalize the engagement," so all of us gave him shagun, which is blessings and gifts.
But they would discover he was already married with a wife and children in Canada.
Did Inder know he was married?
She didn't know anything. When my daughter called him, his wife answered the phone. She was under a lot of stress, took medication, hardly slept, and cried a lot.
And then she disappeared. And the alleged Canadian connection was the talk, especially in places like Ludhiana, Punjab, a state with strong ties to Canada. Many here have relatives in the Indo-Canadian community, and more dream of their children emigrating.
We want justice, really.
The extended family was begging for Canada to get involved. To track the case, we went to the district police office to meet the Assistant Commissioner of Police, Inderjeet Singh Boprai.
Thank you for your time.
He claims that under intense interrogation, one of the men arrested, Singh's father, confessed.
He admitted to absolutely everything. He confessed that Sukhwinder has come to India and they were accomplices in the crime.
Police have shared their murder theories widely, but so far there are no official charges against Singh. They allege the 2 weapons they've recovered are registered to him. Forensics on the bullets and the weapons are pending. So far, no charges.
So at this stage, has anyone in the Punjab police contacted police authorities in Canada?
We cannot contact them directly. We have to follow the proper channels.
Local media has been pressing for Canada to act. But proper channels means first, Punjab police have to file charges in court and prove they have a valid case. Only then could it go up to the Indian government, who would then have to make a decision whether to formally ask for cooperation from Canadian authorities. The RCMP and Calgary police have told us they've had no contact regarding this murder. It's also not known if the suspect is in fact in Canada. Records show he is a director in a Calgary construction company and owns a house. CBC has tried to contact him with no response.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Meanwhile, in Ludhiana, there are swirling suspicions that this case is dragging. A former elected politician and family friend, Jaspal Singh Gyaspara, is on a mission to push the case along.
Investigation police sahi ढंग नाल नहीं कीती. His first investigation is not a proper investigation.
He alleges there were others involved, even a police officer. He told us he pushed to get the case bumped up to a special investigation branch.
What do you expect Canada to do now?
मैं चाहना भी कनाडा गवर्नमेंट सानू इस क्रिमिनल आदमी नू ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਭੇਜੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਖਿਲਾਫ ਫੁੱਲ ਪ੍ਰੂਫ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਦਵਾਂਗੇ.
Inder Kaur's cousin, Gurinder Pal Singh, can't understand why there's not already enough evidence for Canada to act.
हम कनाडा से यही चाहते हैं कि
We urge the Canadian government. His complete record should be formally requested and we seek his deportation to India.
कि इस बंदे को आगे वीज़ा ना दिया जाए।
But the investigation is not complete. The chief suspect hasn't been questioned, and none of the allegations have so far been tested in court. Letting go has been painful. Inder's funeral rites attracted a large gathering of admirers and family. They believed in a promising future for a young woman. They feel helpless.
My child, come back to me. Nothing feels right. Nothing feels good anymore.
I'm sorry.
My daughter wants justice.
Yashwinder Kaur's murder may cross international borders, but it remains a mystery. As Punjab police allege, their chief suspect is in another country out of reach.
A heat wave across parts of Canada is impacting millions of people. That story's next. Russia and the United States may be at odds over Russia's invasion of Ukraine, but cooperation is still alive on more flighty matters.
Booster ignition now at full throttle and liftoff. Minin, Dubrov, and Kikina now on their way to the International Space Station.
Russia launched the Soyuz MS-29 spacecraft with 3 astronauts, 2 Russians and an American on board. They're bound for the ISS, where they will spend about 8 months as the station's 75th rotation crew. The heads of both NASA and Russia's space agency attended the liftoff, a first since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Back here on Earth, a brutal heat wave is affecting millions of Canadians, causing sweltering conditions all the way from the Northwest Territories to Quebec. Experts say it's the latest sign of how climate change is affecting our country. The CBC's Talia Sarv reports.
In this summer scorcher, a desperate attempt to keep cool by the pool.
It's been very spicy.
I think when I leave to go home, it might be another story.
Much of central Canada is baking in extreme heat. Across Ontario, high temperatures melted records. In Toronto, humidity making it feel in the 40s, leaving some at this fan festival struggling.
I have my fan here with like full circulation on from all angles.
Cooling tower, water and fan.
Pressure too on infrastructure, with a handful of roads in Manitoba buckling. It's among 4 provinces and 1 territory under heat warnings Tuesday.
This is a wide-ranging weather system that's going to be affecting Ontario at least and parts of Quebec for the next few days.
Environment Canada projects 2026 to be one of the country's hottest years on record. Canada is warming twice as fast as the global average. Climate change is driven largely by the burning of fossil fuels, and so, as Canada announces more pipeline projects to export oil, climate scientists are putting extra heat on those in power.
Climate physics aren't going to change just because our politics do, and we are ultimately going to have to address this problem.
The Prime Minister has said decisions being made now will secure Canada's energy future, admitting they come at a cost.
Will mean that our emissions will be higher in the next few years.
In Europe, relentless heat waves this summer are linked to thousands of deaths.
What's happening there in the cities?
Jennifer Vanos researches connections between extreme heat and human health. She says Canada must not be complacent.
If we continue to see more intense and longer lasting heat waves in our cities, then yes, we could see trends in terms of the cost to human health similar to Europe.
The question no longer whether summers are changing, but the response. Talia Sarv, CBC News, Toronto.
This weather update is brought to you by Elections BC. Rules for local elections come into effect on July 20th. Elections BC is here to help.
Time for our BC-wide weather forecast and talking about precipitation for the first time, and heaven knows we need it in parts of our province.
That's right.
Darius Madavi, what's going on?
Well, we got a little bit of rain coming through. It's not going to be a ton, but we will see some showers come through on Thursday into Thursday night. So this is Thursday at around 3 p.m. The timing could shift a little bit, but by afternoon, evening, expect to see a little bit of rain coming by. Now, this is mostly confined to the south coast, a little bit maybe breaking into the southern interior, but I wouldn't count on much. But still, even here, we can use it. You know, water restrictions. We have that campfire ban coming into place for most parts of the south coast, at least. And so as we watch this rain come through, it's not going to last too long, but Thursday evening into early in the morning on Friday, we can expect to see a few showers. It should dry up for Metro Vancouver before we get into Friday morning, but even still, it's something. And honestly, we should take it at this point. In terms of the rest of the province, remaining very dry, that ridge of high pressure keeping most precipitation away. Again, a little bit maybe breaking into the southern interior when it comes for the south coast, but not much. The convective activity that we're going to see tomorrow, more than likely just going to be dry lightning as we get into Thursday and Friday. There we have some chance for some real precipitation to come along with it. Again, I still wouldn't count on significant amounts, whether it's even enough to inhibit any new fire starts from the lightning that goes with those storm cells remains to be seen, but fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll also see some calmer winds along with that, given the ridge of high pressure, but that also is going to play into how high the temperatures are. That'll be a big factor in just how dangerous the fire situation is. Tomorrow hitting about 35 degrees. That is the peak in the southern interior, but temperatures only come down by a few degrees even into Friday, and we have a possibility of another heat wave, a true heat wave hitting next week. Still up in the air, long-range forecast, but it's a possibility. Fire danger is going to be high, potentially even climbing into extreme in the southern interior for the next few days. For now, the smoke situation is not bad. A bit of haze in the northern interior, maybe a bit in the Thompson-Nicola, but that might pick up as well if we do see some new fire starts or more extreme fire activity on existing fires. So again, haze and haze. Other than that, a little bit more calm. Thunderstorms are possible tomorrow, again, along some of the ridges, along some of the mountains, like in the Caribou region, around Kelowna and around Golden. And then here's our 5-day forecast for Vancouver, Dan, with some elevated temperatures tomorrow and then cooler for Thursday and Friday.
Okay, Darius, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Coming up, more than 80 years after it sank, the Terra Nova is still helping polar science. We're going to take a deep dive, literally, into the waters off Greenland. Stick around.
Hi, I'm Amy Bell, and this is your CBC Inbox. Immerse yourself in a weekend of diverse culture and live entertainment at the Surrey Fusion Festival, July 18th to 19th. Experience over 50 pavilions, a vibrant marketplace, global flavors, and more. Details at surreyfusionfestival.ca. And ready for the ultimate summer weekend? Join CBC at the Salmon Arm Roots and Blues Festival from July 24th to 26th. Details at rootsandblues.ca.
3D technology is allowing Arctic researchers to learn more about the wreck of an historic vessel. It's been more than 80 years since the Terra Nova sank, but it continues to play a part in polar exploration. The CBC's Peter Cowan shows us how from aboard the research ship Atlantis.
They're just getting Alvin, the submersible, ready for a dive down to the shipwreck. We're just off the coast of Greenland. This is the farthest north that Alvin has ever been in the water, and it presents some challenges. That water is just 2 degrees Celsius, very chilly for the swimmers needed to launch and recover this submersible. And then there's the icebergs. One came so close to the ship, they had to cancel one of the dives.
We did see this morning that there were icebergs about. We didn't think that that would be that big a deal. We were wrong. There are not just 1, but 2 icebergs that beelined right at the wreck site. In fact, at this very moment, one of them is over the wreck site.
These dives are bringing back the most detailed pictures we've ever seen of the Terra Nova. This is the ship that Robert Falcon Scott used to reach the South Pole. It's showing us things like the double wheels at the stern of the ship, some other things like the boiler and the steam winch that were on board. Before and after it was an exploration ship, it was used as a sealing vessel based out of St. John's, Newfoundland. We're not just getting video, we're getting a 3D model that's being created with new technology. It'll allow historians to look at this wreck in 3 dimensions, but this is also very useful for biologists who want to understand this new habitat that the ship has become.
The 3D model allows me to have the full context. So I know not just I'm on the bow, I'm on the stern, but this particular sample is 30 meters from the bow, and that means that I can analyze things a lot more quantitatively. It allows us to be much more mathematical.
This expedition, being led by the Royal Canadian Geographical Society, hopes the data and images that it gathers will be studied long after this trip is over. Peter Cowan, CBC News, on board the research vessel Atlantis off the coast of Greenland.
Peter wins for Best Assignment of the Month. Thanks for being with us tonight on CBC Vancouver News at 6. You can watch this newscast on CBC Gem, our free app, as well as on YouTube and our website, cbc.ca/BC. We will have your next local news at 11 o'clock, right after the National. See you then.